Well, hello guys, hope you're all doing well. So it seems to be a long time since we were sitting here, but it's now the second year of my full-time photography journey. So I wanted to go over a few things with you like I did in that first year, just telling you how I got on, what's new, how I've found things, problems I've had, etc, etc. So I'm going to refer to this little notebook that I've jotted everything down to again, and we'll get into it. So first thing that I talked about last year, I think that I was trying to get more workshops done, and over this last year I've actually managed to do that. So I've done a lot more. I've did a few in Scotland. This year I have actually got some planned with Adam Gibbs in Vancouver Island, so I've got 2 there. I've got another one in Scotland again with Dean Allen. And then we had the Italy workshop with Matt Bishop and Luigi Nesprica. And then next year I've built it up again, so hopefully we're going to have all those workshops in place, and then I'm looking to add more in the future for next year as well. So as far as that part of the business is concerned, the workshops have done really, really well for me, and I've found those a huge help in my business moving forward, as I've found that print sales, for example, are non-existent. So this is one of the things that you learn with landscape photography over time, is that you have to look at different ways to make your money over the course of the year, and a lot of the money that I have to make, is basically down to workshops. That's where the majority of my income's going to come from, be that one-to-ones or full big group workshops. That's where I'm kind of focusing more of my attention at the minute. I've tried and looked at print sales, and to be honest, they've just been totally non-existent. I know of some people who do really well with prints, just I can't do it. There must be some sort of secret sauce with it, and I'm not finding it. But yeah, so I'm dedicating more of my time towards the workshops and one-to-ones, and then seeing how that progresses. Now, the other thing I wanted to touch on is one of the reasons for me going full-time in the first place was a lot to do with my mental health. And how have I found that over this last year? Well, in all honesty, I'm a lot better. I find that my attention is more focused on what I'm trying to achieve with my photography, so my mind is more occupied. I enjoy what I do now. I haven't got that sort of battle against hating what I was doing. I'm really enjoying and into what I'm doing, and I think that really helps you focus your attention. Don't get me wrong, I still have struggle days where I feel as though everything's against me, and it really gets to me, but I'm kind of working through that now in a way that I know when I'm going downhill, and I know that I have to pull myself back out of it. But photography, not only the act of going out and doing photography, but the whole community of people that I've built up around me really, really helps. I find that if you can build up a group of people around you that are positive thinkers and have a positive outlook, it really helps you to drive you forward and keeps you up and focused on what you're trying to achieve. So that's been a real benefit this year. The next thing I want to touch on, and it kind of leads into that, is the collaborations I've been doing, be it with Adam or with Dean on workshops or in video form. It all helps you move forward as well. And to be honest, I find, especially working from home, that it's a very sort of lonely existence. Now, that's great if you like to be on your own a lot, which I don't have a real problem with, but it means that what's been happening this year, I've found, is I haven't been associating with anybody outside of photography. Everybody that I'm friendly with or have discussions with are all to do with the photography game. So I don't really have anybody outside of that. And that's partly because I live in a small village. It's a small community, so I don't travel too far. Obviously, I'm working from home, so my time is spent here every day, going basically in front of the computer screen. So that's one drawback, I guess you could look at it, is I'm not seeing as many people. And that's why the collaborations for me this year have been really important, just to be able to get out and mix with people again. I find that vitally important as a basically sole person that's in this business. That's all of the business decisions are me, basically. So with that in mind, I have nobody to answer to but myself. So I can't bounce ideas off anybody else unless I really reach out to the people who have been really important to me, like Adam, for example, Dean. People like that I can actually bounce ideas off is super, super helpful. So if you're in this position and you're going full time with your photography, I suggest you really build up a group of people around you that are there to help you and help guide you through it, because it's not easy. It's not easy at all. Even after this first year, it's still been a struggle. My wife's been having to juggle 3 different jobs just to keep us afloat. I haven't been making a fortune at all. In fact, barely ticking over, if I'm honest. But the thing with it is this time, this is my second time doing having a full-time business myself. My first one was, I had a music shop, and in 2008 when we had the financial crash, it just died. But I'm finding this time, because I've got more focus on providing services, it's moving forward a lot faster. So that's a huge gain for me, is being able to see kind of light at the end of the tunnel and see where I'm headed with it. So how have I been making money? Well, this year especially, you might have noticed that I've had a few sponsored content in amongst my videos. This week's video is sponsored by Case. Capture with confidence. Now, I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I would like to think that that I don't push out these kind of sponsored ads all the time. I'm really careful in the way that I do them. I don't want to have my channel kind of full of just adverts, but they're an integral part of me moving forward as a business. I think I mentioned last year that I've got no problem with this or monetizing my channel at all. At the end of the day, when you're full-time, you have to look at every avenue possible to make money. And whether that be sponsored ads on your videos, whether that be the little tiny bit of money that comes in from monetizing your YouTube channel, whether it be print sales, which I said before I'm not successful with, workshops, whichever it be, you've got to look at each of these different avenues to actually succeed. So I'm not sorry at all for doing these sponsored ads or doing monetizing my channel, anything like that, because it's all got to be done to not only keep me afloat, but also to be able to bring you this content in the first place. It all costs money. Fuel, all of these things all cost money. Trips abroad, you might have seen that I went to the States. And with that in mind, I didn't get paid to go to the States. I had to come up with this money myself. And why did I do it? You might ask. It's a lot of money to shell out. Well, it is. But number one, it harps back to collaborations. Number two, I have to go on a trip these trips to kind of expand my portfolio and bring more content to you, and obviously improve my portfolio of images for my website so that I've got different images. And with that in mind, this year, I think I produced, with one of those trips, I actually produced some of my best work in woodlands and forests. So it was definitely worth the effort and the cost that was involved. But again, it all harps back to these sponsorships and things like that basically enable me to go on these trips in the first place. Now, with that in mind, I've got a quick sponsorship just to drop in here now. So I'm just going to play this advert so you can hear from my sponsor. This week's video is sponsored by Case Filter's Magnetic Revolution System, made from toughened Wolverine glass, lightweight, fast and optically neutral. Be part of the revolution. Right, welcome back, guys. So I just want to go into my next sort of income stream, which I've been doing this last year, and that's outdoor photography, guys. I've been doing quite a bit of the live streams, which is image critiques with Matt Bishop and Tom Peters. We do those every month, so that's another income stream. I also write blog posts for them and produce premium content for their website. So that's been another source of income that's been really, really helpful. The other sort of things that I've been doing is a lot more one-to-ones. One-to-ones have picked up fantastically this year, which I think I previously mentioned in my workshops. Those have really sort of gained more traction. And in my first year, I was really struggling. I maybe had one, maybe two at most. But this year, especially, they seem to have gained more traction, and they're really, really picking up. So, a couple of things that I've had issues with this year. I just wanted to go over a couple of things. I think previously I've just mentioned working from home. And for any of you that work from home, a lot more of you maybe work from home now that with COVID and everything happening. But working from home isn't easy at all, which a lot of you will already know. And I've found it especially hard as my house isn't that big. It's only a 2-bedroom house. I've got very little room, and I've taken over one of those rooms as an office. So moving forward, what I'm going to have to do is look at getting an outdoor office, somewhere where I can get all my gear out of the house. I can lock everything away, and not only will that give me more space in the house, but also it's going to allow me the ability to kind of step away from work, because working from home has lots of benefits, but it's also got lots of drawbacks. And one of those drawbacks is the fact that you never escape from work. There's no knock-off period, and I really struggle with that. So I mean, I'll still be sitting there at 10:30 at night sometimes, answering emails, doing this, that and the other, which is fine. But when you've got kids at home and you've got a wife at home and everything, it does start to get a bit much. So I want the ability to be able to move all of my camera gear out of the house, and not only give myself space there, but also have a place where I can go and work. And when I'm at work, nobody disturbs me and I can get my work done. And I can also come out, lock the door and walk back into the house away from work. I need that sort of place where I can switch off from work and just go home. The same way as you would do is if you were working for somebody else, is to have that place of work where you go to work, and then when you're finished, you go home, and that's it. That's what I really need to get into the habit of at home. Now, the other thing that's happened, just referring to my notes again, this year is YouTube has actually got a lot better this year, and the growth has started to pick up. I'm not going to lie to you, it's been a really, really hard battle to kind of keep this YouTube going and to keep producing the content and keep the growth going, because I really find it difficult now, especially now because there's quite a lot of photographers out there on YouTube. I'm not saying that it's saturated out at all, because I don't honestly believe that. I just think some things grow faster than others, and mine's just been really slow to grow. And as far as that and my mental health goes, a lot of people say, crazy doing YouTube for mental health. And I get that, I really do, because it's not great for mental health at all. You've got a constant pressure to produce material. You've got negative comments, which I've learned a lot better to deal with now. I've got to a position with negative comments on YouTube videos. I honestly don't get them that often, touch wood. But when I do, I just get to a place of I just ignore it now. I just completely ignore it, because you just got to put all of that stuff to the back of your mind when you're producing this content and focus on what you're doing. So yeah, it's been really good to see it growing this year, and that's good for my mental health as well, because it makes me feel as though I'm actually doing something and pushing out material that you guys want to watch. And I really want to kind of put out material that you get something from. It's pointless just churning out material for the sake of it if you're not going to get anything from it. So I'm really consciously going out every week without fail to try and bring you a new video every week, so you've got something new to watch and hopefully either inspire you or teach you something valuable. That's the whole idea of it. So, moving on to the year ahead. My thoughts on the year ahead. Well, again, I want to increase more of the workshops because obviously that's where I'm going to make more money. But I'm also looking at other avenues as well, like writing more blog posts. I also looking at things like on the back end of my my business, like I currently use Squarespace for my website. Well, I'm going to use their integrated emails just to kind of smooth the whole process out and make it easier for me at the back end of the business, but also make it better for customers at the front end of the business, so that everything's seamless and everything looks identical and it all blends into my kind of idea of what I want out of my business model. The next thing I want to do as well is learn to do more live talks, and by that I mean I want to do more talks at photography shows, more at photography clubs, things like that. It's something that I'm not particularly comfortable doing. I'm fine talking to you guys through a camera, but talking in front of a group of people is not my strong point. But I really need to force myself into that, I think. I need to get myself out there more and force myself to do those, and I think that'll help me improve from that aspect as well. The other thing I want to do is, with the videos in mind, is improve video quality. I've had the ability to use another camera to do my last video, and I could see the video quality was dramatically increased, and thanks to Adrian for loaning me that camera, and he's kindly said that every time we go out I can use that camera. But ultimately I think I want to move forward with these videos and increase the video quality. I've already upgraded the sound this year. I've gone with these new mics, and I think they've increased the audio quality, as well as my ability to keep charge, so I'm not worrying about them running out of charge. I'm also looking at a new project as well this year. I'm not going to tell you too much about it at the minute because I'm still working on it, but it's going to revolve around a lot of getting a lot of photographers involved to doing webinars. So I've come up with an idea to do webinars alongside Adam's been helping me kind of sort that idea out, and I want to bring that to life this year as well, and that's going to be another kind of income stream to the side as well. You really learn when you're into doing this landscape photography full time, is that it's not based on one thing. You just cannot rely on one thing for income. You've got to look at all these different avenues to make money from. And it's the only way that you actually do make money, because if you're reliant on one thing, like print sales, and that collapses, you absolutely had it. So the more of these little avenues you can kind of spread yourself across, when one of them dies off, you've always got something else to kind of bring you back from that. And I think that's really, really important. So that's basically my year so far. I just wanted to do another one of these updates and keep you in the loop from year to year, to kind of keep you up to date with my progress and let you know how it's been going, because I think that's really important for you guys to see how these businesses operate and how you've got to keep moving and progressing and moving forward to actually keep them afloat in the first place. I can't stress enough the amount of support you guys have given me. It really means the world to me to have to let me do what I do for a living. I'm so lucky to be able to do what I do. I enjoy it so much. In fact, I love it so much, just to be able to get outside, even though that's a small part of what I do now. I just love what I do. I love being able to go out and see the joy in people's faces when I take them out on workshops. Not only learning the techniques to take these photographs, but just experiencing the places that we take them as well. It's a huge, huge honour to be able to see these people so happy and taking in the environments they're visiting and going away with some beautiful images that they can treasure forever. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you have, and I'll see you in the next video soon. Take care. Bye bye.